to That's Life. I'm Marcia Boyles, and I'm always delighted to introduce my co-host and co-producer, Kathleen Taylor.
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning. Kathleen, we've got 3 vignettes coming up today, and we have a very special guest in our second vignette. The first and third vignettes are very short, and they are Morris and Pansy.
Right.
The middle vignette is longer with Ann Talley and Gretchen Kitt playing Wendy. And talk a little bit about our guest.
Yeah, Arzo Hader is going to be the guest in the role play, and she is a move-in transition specialist that works out of the admissions office at Garden Ridge.
At Garden Ridge.
Yeah, so her role is to work with people who are considering a transition into continuing care, whether it be into assisted living, our memory care unit, long-term care, or also when people are involved in a rehab stay. So she's got a big role, and she's going to be walking Wendy through the process of considering a move to assisted living.
All right, well, that is an important role.
Yeah.
All right, let's stop then and have our vignettes.
Pansy, hi.
Hi.
What brings you here, huh?
Well, I got up this morning and it suddenly dawned on me that I hadn't been keeping you up to date on what I've been doing lately.
You haven't.
And I knew you would want to know.
Yep.
You know, I've been trying to find ways to be a real helper and make a contribution to society and to Greenspring. And it's been hard. I just didn't know where to start. But I saw an announcement on Channel 6, and it said that on Saturday mornings there are walking tours for new people.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be new. But if you really want somebody to, this is a big campus and people get lost. And so on Saturdays they have this tour that you can take. And I thought, boy, I know the halls at Greenspring because I've been walking my alligator around those halls, you know, before they took it away from me. And so I thought that would be a good job for me. So sure enough, I joined, and the very first Saturday morning, there was a lovely couple here, and they just wanted a tour. Well, I was doing fine, because like I told you, I know the halls of Greenspring. I could go up and down elevators, any building they wanted to be in. But then they said they wanted to go outside. I hadn't done that very much, but I'm game, so we went outside and started walking, and we ended up on sort of a path kind of thing, and trees and a stream going by, and I didn't know where we were, but
You went with it,
yeah. Exactly. So we walked, and we walked, and we walked, and we walked, and pretty soon I was getting tired. They didn't seem to be, but I was.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get back to Greenspring, and I realized I had no clue how to get back to Greenspring. So I was getting a little nervous when all of a sudden a hiker came by, vigorous hiker came by, and he was wearing a Greenspring name tag. Now, I really think that's a good thing for people to always do, don't you?
Yeah, to wear them outside, yeah.
Yes, and so anyhow, I decided if he's wearing a Greenspring name tag, he's probably going to Greenspring. So we fell in line right behind him, and sure enough, he led us back to Greenspring. But I decided that's the activity for me because I can help new people find their way around this wonderful community.
Yeah, you might discover some new places yourself, huh?
I did, but I don't like new places very well. I like the old familiar routines of the halls and the people that I can say hi to and that say hi to me. This is a neat place to live, Kathleen.
Yeah, I agree with you. So good. You sort of feel like you've found your place.
I think that's my contribution. Saturday mornings, there's not much else going on Saturday mornings. And I meet new people, and I kind of tend to talk a lot, and so at the dinner tables and stuff, I can invite people who've been here for 2 years and still can't find their way around.
Absolutely.
To come and take a walk on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
So if you know anybody that would like to join me, I'll be there.
Going on an
11
adventure with
Saturday
Pansy.
morning.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that sounds good. So, anything else interesting going on in your life?
Yeah, well, I've been seeing a gentleman.
Nice.
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful. I'm
good.
having a delightful time, and it's just filled up a big empty space in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Feels like a new friend, huh?
it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's a new friend, and a special friend. So yeah.
That's good.
And we just mostly stay on campus, but we go off campus to movies and things like that once in a while. And I love it.
I'm so excited for
Yeah,
you. Well, that one's going to be something you're going to have to keep me filled in on too a little bit. Just not the particulars, but just how you're feeling.
Oh, okay.
I want to know that you're feeling happy.
I can do that.
You can do that. Okay. So good.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Good times all around, huh?
Yes.
All right. See you later.
All right.
Hi, Wendy. How are you?
Oh, good morning. Thanks, Anne, for having us over.
It's good to see you again. And Arzo, thank you for coming.
Sure, no problem.
So,
Good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
So last time we met, you had taken a tour at Garden Ridge, and and when you called me the other day, my understanding is you're still not certain about making that move to assisted living. So I called Arzo, who works over in the admissions office in Garden Ridge, and she was so kind to come all the way over to my office and sit down with us and answer all those additional questions that you have.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd just get together and have a little meeting and go over those questions that you have.
Well, you spoke of paperwork that would lead to admission or acceptance or whatever you call it, and you would start with paperwork, and then you arrange for someone at Garden Ridge to do some evaluation.
That's right.
Okay.
So you did the first thing that I asked you to do, which was great. So you took a tour and you kind of got an idea of the layout
The activities.
and the activities. So you're right. If you decide that you want to move to Garden Ridge, the process starts with me, and there's paperwork that I need to fill out. We need to sit down, I need to do an assessment and do some paperwork, and then when I'm done with that paperwork, then I need to get an order signed by the doctor to have an occupational therapist come to your apartment and do an assessment.
In the apartment, okay.
And then I gather all that paperwork and I turn it into Arzo, and then I'll let Arzo go from there and kind of explain.
So once she completes her part, she brings that paperwork to me, and then I hand it off to our assisted living manager or our social worker, and then she makes an appointment either with you or with family and makes a visit to your apartment to come see you.
Yes.
And then from that visit, we'll determine what level of care you're appropriate for. And as we discussed at the tour, there are 5 levels of care in assisted living.
Oh,
and
in
so,
assisted living, there are 5 levels. Okay.
So the social worker or the manager will determine what level of care you're most appropriate for.
Yeah. So could you review them for me?
Sure. So there's level A through E, and level A is someone who is fairly independent, so they don't need a lot of assistance, but they like the structure of the nursing in place. And there's medication management, housekeeping, laundry, maintenance, all of that's done, 3 meals a day. But they don't need a lot of nursing attention. They're fairly independent.
Okay.
And then we have level B, and that's someone who needs reminders to take a shower, reminders, that it's time for a meal, but still fairly independent. And then we have level C, and that's someone who needs supervision. So they might need someone to be present when they take a shower, but they don't need any assistance. If you need hands-on assistance, you're talking about level D.
Like with dressing or
Dressing, bathing, correct.
Okay.
And then level E is someone who, again, needs a lot more nursing attention. So the more nursing care you require, the higher the level of care.
And the cost is different from A to E because of the level of
Correct.
assistance.
It ranges from $4,700 to about $9,500 a month currently.
A month. Thank you. That's something to digest.
A lot to consider.
Yeah.
And you had asked about the timing, how long this whole process would take.
Yeah.
For me, and I'll just give you an estimate, it would probably take a couple weeks. And then it depends.
To go through the evaluation.
To go through the evaluation.
Okay.
And then it all depends upon room availability. And maybe ours would like to speak about that.
Correct. So once we do the assessment, then we're waiting for available room in assisted living. And it depends a lot on timings. So sometimes we have something available right away, and sometimes you have to wait a little bit. Currently, the wait list has been about 1 to 2 months.
Oh.
It's not too, within that time frame.
Not too long.
Not too long.
Because I have a lot of downsizing to do.
Right.
So many books and clothes and furniture and help. I'm glad my daughter is around. She can't be here today with us because she's graduating.
Oh,
George
wonderful.
Mason, getting a master's in social work.
Nice.
We're very proud of her.
Great. I was just at a graduation yesterday.
So when you were there, you saw the size of the room and you saw the area. Did you have any specific questions for Arzo about laundry, types of things that you should bring, activities, anything along those lines that you want?
I was thinking there are more details of what you need to bring than I realized. Could you go over some of the details? I mean, I know you're allowed your own furniture in the apartment, but what else should you think about bringing?
So the room comes unfurnished, so you bring all of your own furniture, and it's pretty all-inclusive, so we do a lot for you. There's a lot that's included, but what isn't included is toiletries, so you bring your own, shampoo, soap. That
Towels? Do I bring my own towels?
Towels, sheets.
Washcloths? Oh, and sheets. Okay. What about blankets?
Yep, definitely.
And pillows? What else do you think of?
So if you require a shower chair, you can bring that, a shower curtain.
Oh, a shower curtain, or a chair in the shower. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know.
And Wendy, you had asked me about laundry, like laundry of your personal clothing and then of your sheets, and how that would work.
The sheets available to be laundered there. Is that included? Or
Laundry is included, and it's once a week.
and what about personal?
It's included.
Included, okay.
And there is a washer and dryer on each neighborhood in case you wanted to do your own. You have that option.
Okay, good. And about the meals, there's 3 times a day, set hours probably. Do you know them offhand?
I do. So breakfast is at 8 to 9:30, lunch is 12:30 to 1:30, and dinner is 5:30 to 6:30.
Oh, okay. Now, what about inviting family to eat with you? Is that allowed?
Of course.
What about charging for that?
They would be charged, they'd be billed to your account. So you'll see it on your statement, your monthly statement.
Monthly statement, okay. But I could also go over to the independent living and go to dinner for meal of the day or
Yes.
whatever?
Yeah, so you're allowed 3 meals, and if you want to pick one, or if you want to do either, you could go to the independent living, any of their dining rooms, you can go to the cafe and eat there,
Right.
and continue to do so.
Okay, and concerts and meetings and groups.
Right. You probably are part of groups right now, and you want to
Yeah.
continue to be a part of them. So you,
Oh, I would like to continue with some of them, yeah.
yep, you just still continue to go over to independent living for those meetings and to dine there if you'd like.
Okay, well, thank you. That
And your
helped.
friends can come over and dine with you as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. That would be nice.
I was trying to think of some of the other questions that you were asking me. I wanted to go back to the meals because you said sometimes you're a late sleeper, and what if you miss breakfast?
Oh, well,
Is there an option for having a late breakfast, or what do you do about that?
or
Of
just
course,
a
not
snack
everyone
or
likes
something.
breakfast at 8 a.m. So if you are a late riser, then we can save you breakfast. We can save you a continental breakfast for you later. And same thing goes if you had an appointment, say around lunchtime, and you're going to miss that meal. We can box a lunch for you to take with you, or we can also save it for you when you come back.
Oh, okay, thank you. And then there's juice available.
Yeah,
Or
there's
snacks.
snacks 24/7. So if you want cookies, a sandwich, juice, coffee, milk, yogurt,
Goodness,
anytime you want it, just let one of the nursing staff know.
okay, thank you.
One of the other questions, you asked me about your
Yeah.
medications. Do you just keep your medications with you, or are they kept in the nurse's station? How does that work?
Yeah, do I have to register my meds with the nursing station? How does that happen?
So for the first 30 days when you move in, medications will be ordered and dispensed for you. And then if you are able to do self-medicate, and that's determined by the nurse and the social worker who does the assessment,
Okay.
then by all means. But it is included in part of the assisted living package. So I would recommend that you let the nursing staff take care of that. And that is, we order the medications the first 30 days, and then afterwards you can use any mail order supplier that you have been using. That's probably more cost effective.
Yeah, I'm used to CVS and mail order
Right.
at this point. Oh, thank you, that's good.
Well, Wendy, I promised Arzo we keep it short to 15 minutes because she's pretty busy, so we're pretty much running out of time. Do you have any last questions for Arzo?
In terms of the activities, can you just go, or do you sign up for something and so you're supposed to show up every week, or can you just kind of float?
It's a lot of residents will plan their day around meal times. They're given an activities calendar every month, and it has the activities for the whole month. And you can pick and choose whatever activity you want to go to. And there's some that are religious services that are every week, or there's certain clubs and organizations at Garden Ridge as well. So if you want to play bridge, there's a group that does that. And then there are just a lot of parties. They love to throw parties there. They're a lot of fun.
Do you get the calendar for the independent living as well as the Garden Ridge calendar for the month? Because I know they put out a calendar over in the independent living for each month. I wonder if you get both of those calendars.
You don't, but if you'd like to, we can make arrangements for you to receive that.
Yeah, because that has things that I've been going to. Good, thank you. This has been very helpful.
Good.
I better go down and take notes on what I've been hearing.
You can always call me, or I'm sure you can always call Arzo. Thank you so much, Arzo, for taking
No
the time out to
problem.
come. And
Good to see
be
you
with
again.
Get to know you a little better.
Like
Thank you.
So Wendy, I hope this has been very helpful, and if you
Yes.
decide that this is what you want to do, you call me and I'll set up a time to come to your office, come to your apartment and start the paperwork.
For all the times I've been in your office. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
All right.
So Morris, hi, how are you?
I am feeling great, almost euphoric.
Whoa.
A lot has been happening since we last talked, and I thought
Yeah.
I'd share it with you.
I like to share euphoria.
Well, we've been seeing each other on a regular basis. When we last talked, I think I mentioned that I looked on her as my best friend.
Yeah.
And it's gotten even better. We've done a lot of things together, but more important, we've gotten involved with each of our families. She with mine, and me with hers. And frankly, I was a little concerned about that because, you know, I didn't know them, and
Yeah, made it seem so serious, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
But they took me to their heart, and my family took her to their heart,
Yeah.
and so whenever there's a family activity, we go, and it's as though we've always been in each other's family.
It just feels real natural.
So natural.
Wow.
Yeah, and we've made a few more outings, not too many. I guess I'd have to say that the only time we've had a very slight difference of opinion, 2 weeks ago we went to the zoo. Now, I haven't been to the zoo in many years, and I've been particularly enjoying seeing the monkey house.
Oh, they're fun.
But she had a greater interest in alligators and in flamingos. I couldn't understand why, but we spent more time there than we did in the alligator house. But that's such a small thing.
She just has a thing for alligators and flamingos.
Apparently
huh?
so, yeah.
This is making me think. If I could ask you, I also know somebody that has a thing for alligators and
Oh, really?
flamingos. What's your lady friend's name?
Pansy.
Pansy. Oh,
Welcome back. Kathleen, we had 3 interesting vignettes today, the middle one being the most interesting in terms of information. Now, the most fun, of course, were the first and third ones.
I know. The big reveal.
Yes. I mean, who would have thunk that, that Morris was seeing Pansy?
I know. It's pretty fun.
You were clearly shocked.
I was. It was just funny. I mean, there's not too many people that are interested in alligators and flamingos. So.
And particularly people who have actually had them here.
Yes. So it had to be her. So, and then for her to have been so sweet about her new friend too. So they seem really happy together.
They really do seem happy together.
Yeah.
I think we'll certainly be exploring the whole issue of having relationships here at Green Spring.
Yeah, let's not call it an issue.
Oh, shucks. Now, how would you characterize
The whole experience of having
All right.
friends at
All
Green
right.
Spring.
All right.
Yeah.
The wonderful
The
chance.
wonderful chance.
Opportunity.
Absolutely.
All right. Sorry. I'm so used
I
to
guess it
thinking
could be an issue, but
Well, I'm so used to thinking in issues.
I know.
But no, the opportunity is the word I was looking for. Okay. Now, in addition to the fun ones, and they were fun, we had a very serious and certainly very informative vignette in the middle. Talk a little bit about that, because it's something that we haven't explored before on this show. It's certainly something that most of us know very little about, what the process looks like in terms of transitioning from independent living over to Garden Ridge. So you've already talked about the different levels of care. You mentioned those in the introduction. What more can we derive from that vignette?
well, I think it was very realistic. You know, I mean, this is the sort of thing that happens all the time. Hopefully people have enough time when they are thinking about a transition, to be able to do a lot of investigation, be able to tour and be able to ask questions and be able to think about what they've heard and then come back and ask more questions. That's why we definitely really encourage people to sort of not wait for a crisis situation where they might need more care, and to explore these options early. And it also gives people a comfort level in terms of certainly who's going to be working with them as they go through the transition. Arzo being, or one of the other admissions folks being a key person taking that role, and then where their social worker is going to be of help as well.
Social workers both in independent living and over at Garden Ridge?
Right. Typically, you're not going to meet your social worker in Garden Ridge until you've actually transitioned over there. But the IL social worker is going to be sort of the key person for you, just kind of making sure that you have all the information you need and then you're updated on the process. Because it can take, since we do have some backlog in terms of people getting an apartment in assisted living, just being able to make sure that people sort of know where they're at and are able to plan ahead, so that when the apartments become available, they can then start the next phase.
Anne was indicating that she was really responsible for the paperwork. So the social worker that is really overseeing the process, moving it along, letting us know where things are.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're probably, the social workers are probably the first people to have a conversation with you if it seems like you're either sensing that you might need a different amount of help, and maybe that assisted living or another area in Garden Ridge might be of benefit to you, and then just working that out with your social worker and really talking it through. And usually your family's going to be included, and then if you make the decision that you want to go forward with that move, say to assisted living, then making sure that the assessment's done and that gets over to Garden Ridge, and just kind of following the process and making sure that it flows.
I suspect that not only is it a tremendous, change and decision, I suspect that sometimes it's unclear to a resident whether they really need to do this or whether they want to do it.
Yeah.
So talking it through, I would think, would be a critical element with your social worker.
Yeah, and also just being able to get that. I think the tour is crucial because it just allows people to visualize the space. And I know that people have seen some shots of an apartment in assisted living during the show, which also is I think going to be helpful, because this is an actual apartment of someone who has really decorated it nicely. It's a small space, but they've really taken advantage of the space that's there and really made it homey. And I think that that's helpful because like Wendy was saying, she has so much stuff. How is she going to choose what stuff to bring with her and how that's going to fit in a smaller space? So being able to visualize that when you do tours, a lot of times they will let you sort of have a peek at some of the apartments that our residents have opened up to potential.
Yes, some of them are very attractively done.
Yeah. So just being able to see that, I think, really does a lot too.
Yes, the space can be done very nicely, and as Arzo was pointing out, you bring all your own furniture, your own bed, your bedding, and so forth. So, yes, I think that information was just tremendously helpful. I think all of us realize that at some point we may need to transition, and we need to be thinking about it, as you're pointing out, really ahead of time.
Yeah. It's really it has a lot to offer, and as Wendy was saying too, she can move between independent living and her assisted living apartment, so she doesn't have to give up anything. She's actually gained some more opportunities to enjoy herself.
Yes, absolutely. And in one of her previous programs, she talked about the fact that she saw a lot of her old friends over
Yeah.
there. So a new group of friends over there too.
Yeah, no, but that happens a lot. You know, you catch up with people that maybe have had to move over prior, and then it's like, oh, you got old friends, you got new friends, you got friends that are still over in independent living. It's good. It's really
Yes,
good.
and activities over here and
Yep.
activities over there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was surprised. She indicated that there really were activities every day over there.
Oh my gosh, there's so many activities. I mean, it's really the same.
Tell me some of the kinds of things that. Now that's something that was not mentioned. What kinds of things are we talking about?
Yeah.
Parties, I heard.
Oh, there's a lot of events. They're like big on events, definitely. But there's like exercise classes that you do in a group exercise.
Like chair exercises?
Yeah,
or-
exactly, chair exercises. And then there are.
Are there musical?
There's a ton. Dale Jarrett's over there a lot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then if they have parties, they definitely have music. They have Friday night bingo. They have faith-based activities that are happening as well. The units themselves or the neighborhoods themselves have specific things that are happening right on the neighborhoods. So for people that maybe need to stay a little bit closer to home, they have activities right there in their neighborhood. But then there's the big meeting room at Garden Ridge where they have the bigger events.
Down on the ground floor. Yes.
Yeah.
So those would be for the entire Garden Ridge community.
Right, right. So there's a lot going on all the time. If you ever go over to Garden Ridge, there's a huge calendar that's posted in all the neighborhoods, and you will just see all of the activities, and they will definitely keep you busy if that's what you want to be.
Well, I thought the program, I thought that vignette was very, very helpful.
Yeah, I hope so. That's for sure.
Yeah, it looked good. Kathleen, next month, June, we are coming up on our second anniversary for this program. I know.
How'd that happen, huh?
Exactly. Neither one of us can sort of believe it. And we're going to do something quite special for that anniversary. We're going to be having a lot of chats between social workers and resident role players. So I think that will be kind of fun. So we're looking forward to that. Well, I think we're about ready to close up here. Is there anything you would like to leave us with, or are we?
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good program. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next month.